Hey traders, Jason here with Day Trading Fearless. We are doing another live stream tonight. It's about 5:20 here in Las Vegas. Get rid of the disclaimer and let's kind of get to work. One thing, let's pull up the right chart. Okay. Just want to say welcome to everyone. Hey, trading girl. How are you doing? Hey, if you could let me know if you could hear me, make sure the sound's good. Cool, thank you. Um, so yeah, I'll be on for about an hour tonight. Let's see if we can find some trades. If you guys have any questions, anything like that, let me know. Kind of just type them in the chat room, things like that, and let's try and make a couple bucks tonight. Um, so market kind of a weird reversal day today. Kind of market is definitely bearish on the bigger timeline, things like that. So probably again just do what I always do, right? Look for divergences, look for quick little scalp setups and things like that. Tamidul. I probably botched that, but I've been trading for about 21 years, and I've been doing S&P E-mini futures for about 13, actually 16 years. Kind of watched it, learned everything about how they trade. I've kind of have gone down certain rabbit holes of looking for seeing what works, what doesn't work, things like that. So if I could kind of give you guys a piece of advice, I would say learn one thing, become a master of it, and then practice it every single day. What I have has taken me years, but I've learned this divergence probably about 10 years ago, actually longer than that, probably 12, 13 years ago. But I've created other things, and as you watch, you learn what to add to it, right? I'm always playing around trying to find the best edge I can for what I want. Like what works. Like lately, I've been kind of going down the rabbit hole of looking at MACDs. Is there an edge? And I'm starting to see a good little edge where, hey, when there's a kind of a confluence, like right here, we have a nice divergence here. We see it on the MACD. We also see it right here on the fast stochastics. I've used fast stochastics for years. So I'm just looking for that extra um, thing, right, to maybe make trades easier, kind of give it a better signal, things like that. So, um, how was everybody's trading day? You guys make money today? You guys kind of do anything good, bad? It's for me. I kind of had a couple winners, couple losers. Really, I kind of broke even all day. Really nothing great on my end. So, just a weird market overall today. Kind of like this overnight session. Really nothing going on. Last night when I was on, there was some nice price action, and as of now, we're just kind of sideways chopping around. Really nothing great. If we look at the market profile of what's going on, right? We are making a lower kind of took out all this price action, look above, failed. Now we took out the lows, kind of found resistance, right? old support becomes new resistance, and we're making new lows. So I told you guys we were bearish last night. We were talking about the overall market on the dailies bearish, and we'll see what happens. Um, it's kind of a continuation of that bearish move today, lower, and also um, just the VIX. The VIX has been something that I've been watching. That's kind of a telltale of I think the lows are not in um, that we had the other day. It almost seems too easy. So right now, let's kind of look and set up a potential trade. Maybe we'll do some quick little scalps, maybe look for a point, things like that. But let's figure out what direction the market is, right? Are we making higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows, things like that? So as we zoom out, we could see a nice fall, right? So we have a high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, even though we took out this high by about a tick, it failed and we made new lows. So on the macro, we are actually making lower lows and lower highs. With that being said, on a very micro, we are actually making a high, a low, potential higher low because we took out this high right here, which was, and remember, it's to find these, watch for the waterfall, right? Lower highs, a break to the upside, and then a failure that usually gives us a swing high in that aspect. But I don't believe this one way or the other. If anything, I'd grab my fib, go like this, okay, and look at the bounce right to the 61.8. So there's really no trade setup. We either need to make a low or take out these highs for something for a potential trade. So I saw your video on pivot points and mid pivots. Do you use them? I used to. I actually don't use them anymore. Years ago, I used them. For some people, they enjoy them, they like them, and if it works for them, the video I did was, hey, let's see if they work. Right? I just did one a couple of days ago. Actually, it might be coming out this week. Let me double check something real quick. Yeah, I think it comes out in the next day or two. And what that video was essentially was do pivot points work? Right? To look for maybe bigger trades, swings like that. So keep an eye out for that on the video section. So um, let's see. Yeah, this is probably a horrible time to go live. Market's doing absolutely nothing. I just want to jump on. Hey, if you guys have want me to take a look at anything, let me know. Um, if there is anything you want me to analyze, things like that, let me know. So, and Crystal, I see that. So nice to meet you, Crystal. Thanks for the real name. How many contracts do you trade? So on these live streams, I'll probably do micros. Maybe sometimes I'll do a regular, but this is more education to help you guys, the community. But normally I'll trade one or two full size contracts. For me, it's it's about where we all gamble different, right? And I won't even say use the words gamble, trade different. We all look at money different ways. Some people are okay with big risks. I'll be honest, I'm not. I'm not going to be trading where I'm looking for 5 grand for a trade or a day, things like that. That's not in my blood. Um, but because if you start to get too big, then you start to distort things. So, um, Dr. Lecter, I'm using a stage 5. So I've used them for years. I love them. I just use them for the dome and for essentially price or for commissions, cheap commissions on it. So, but yeah, stage 5. I also do have a, Tradeovate account that I'll use once in a while or as a backup if I ever need it. Crystal, can you go through the levels for ES support and resistance? Yeah. What time frame, Crystal, on that? Do you want like a minute, 15 minute? Because it's all relative, right? But I mean, we'll do this, right? Let's just look at a 1 minute chart, right? If I was to draw anything right now, here, well, actually, let's do this. Let's go 15 minute, right? I'll pull up a 20-day, 15 minute. And essentially, I'm going to look at what the market's doing, right? What's really happening? Where are certain levels, right? I would definitely say this is one major level. Okay. This is a major level right here. Okay, so we now have our resistance level, the very first touch, a support level, the very first touch. Second, I would probably say this is another level. What I look for are what I would call naked levels. They haven't been touched yet, right? So as price falls, has that been tested, right? This level? No, it hasn't. Um, from this leg of the move. Um, it's one of those things where, as we pull back, kind of even this, I would have called this a level. And if you look right here, as we rally back up to it, we kind of had a mini pullback and then a big explosion higher, right? But was this tested? Yes. So I'm looking for the same thing. If we come up here, I'd be looking for essentially a pause in a potential pullback. Um, with that being said, I would say these are your major levels to look for, right? Maybe on the upside, if you want to get even more technical, I would say probably this level right here is going to be a major level for us to break out. And the reason I say that is because if you think about all of this price action, right here. Okay, we went sideways, took out the high, and then reversed and took out the low. Think of this as a bearish engulfment, right? Take out the high, then reverse, take out the low. And if we pulled up maybe a 4 hour chart, something like that, that would be probably look like a bearish engulfment, right? Which is bearish. And then you have the failure, a retest of this, and then the next leg lower. So we're now starting to make lower highs and lower lows. So that's all I see. I mean, think about it, right? Zoom out, dude. For the last week and a half, 2 weeks, we've gone nowhere, right? I mean, if we take a line, just a regular price line, right? How many times have we hit this over, fall through, come up, go through, come down, right? Keep going, rally up, come right back down, come here, right? Touch, boom, fail, go up, come right back down. This 3660 level, major, kind of tug of war line, right? Goes above, it goes below. Well, guess what? If we pull up a market profile, where do you think the point of control would be, right? Be a bell-shaped curve probably, and the most volume to do business is right here, right around this 3630 or sorry, 3660 level. So that's I mean, I wish I could give you more, but keep it simple, right? That's essentially what I see for levels. I think it's we got to be patient, maybe wait for a retest up here. You can even say, hey, this might be a level right here to watch. But I would say it already got tested, right? Look at this. Kind of the scene of the crime, right? Fail, huge news event, boom, all the way back up. Guess what? Look for a short with a nice little short. So welcome, Crystal. Yeah, like I said, look, I used to do hours of work, sometimes of learning charts and the night before, okay, here's my game plan, right? That I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, all these different things. And I'll be honest with you, when the morning comes, dude, the market has news. We gap higher, gap lower. All the work I did the night before is irrelevant. And so that's why I just come in fresh and clean. I really don't care what the market's doing. All I want is, hey, are we higher or lower? Right. Right. And then try and work off that. Now, I will say we have divergence here right now. Okay. We got divergence here, but we don't have divergence here. Who do we believe, right? Double bottom, divergence, but right here, there's no divergence, right? Everything double bottom, double bottom. Who do we believe? Well, look, what pattern does this look like right here? I would call it a W pattern, right? And usually W stands for winner, right? Just like if this was at the top, I would call this a M pattern. M stands for meltdown. Also, remember we're in overnight session. We see we're just kind of churning sideways, right? Really nothing crazy going on. So if we break above this high, this entire structure is probably going to go higher. And then what this does is it gives us a level to now draw fib and look for a pullback, right? Because we will now have made a high, actually a high, low, higher high, and then we would look for a higher low. So, oh, you're welcome, Crystal. Just looking at the chat, sometimes I'm not staring at it the whole time. So right now, if we make a high like this, now I'm getting ready, right? Okay, cool. Let's get our fibs. Let's look for a potential pullback, right? Now, what do we look for? Okay, when could we really start the pullback? Well, guess what? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Okay, so we have seven candles, a reverse waterfall. I want to see price break below a previous candle, and then that will give me my signal to start to draw my fibs where they're kind of locked in, right? Because once we break below, that would be a confirmation of price coming back down. Then we want to look for a level. Look at this 50%. Look, they pushed this all the way up here, which lined up perfect to give us a 50% pullback here. So I'm going to put an order in right here at 60 if we start to pull back, right? Um, if we make new highs, I'll need to readjust everything. So I'll put order in at 60, kind of see if it could kind of overshoot this a little bit, right? This is a VWAP, and we'll see if it works. Can you please explain how you use the white candles and arrows? Yeah, so the white candles are usually it's a special code where once we're in either a waterfall, which is lower highs, or a reverse waterfall, which are higher lows, once price breaks below, and usually there's got to be about three candles trending one way, like this white candle broke below this low. That's why it's a white candle. It's just visually letting me know there was a reverse waterfall trigger, right? Like right here, if this breaks below, this candle should turn white if we make new low, because we've had one, two, three, four candles, right? And it alerts me that, like right now, the market's bullish on the 1 minute, but if we break below by one tick, the market now becomes bearish. As far as the white candle, or sorry, arrow and the red, all that is whenever the MACD histogram crosses from green to red, or from red to green, it signals an arrow. And if you want, a way to play this is whenever you see that, right, just get long and look for that trend, right? Because what this is also a MACD on this chart right here is, but this is just two lines, regular two lines that I put on a histogram, right? So if we kind of come in here, look at this and look at they're just two line MACDs. But if you look, I have two of them, right? One for a line and then one for a histogram. Instead of doing just a line, I have it for the histogram, right? And that's what creates this histogram look. And as these lines get bigger, right? Right here on the MACD, it shows the separation from the green to the red line. So hopefully that helps. So right here, now look at this. We've hit this thing pretty much four times. One, two, three, four, right? It's kind of like knocking. If you come to my door, you keep knocking and you know I'm home, I'm eventually going to open the door and probably come pop my head out, right? That's the way I look at these. So if we do pull back, this has not been resolved more than likely. Okay. Now, if it goes up by one tick and then reverses, then that might be a one tick failure. So, like right here, okay, so multiple hits, right? Boom. Doesn't mean I'm going to get long, but I'm just going to watch and we're still in a reverse waterfall, right? I'm going to cancel the trade because this is no longer valid because we now have to do some work and redraw our fibs. Now, one thing that I will say is as you trade, this is more of an art form, right? There's no when this happens, that happens. Yeah, we need to be flexible. Okay, cool. This works, but guess what? It never broke. So now we have to redraw it and wait. Now, let's zoom out. Look at this. Remember our W pattern for winter, right? It looks like the MACD was right. Nice divergence. Okay. But now the question is how high do we go, right? Well, let's get rid of this fib for a second and let's look at this swing high right here because it's essentially this is where the market really failed, right? On this little double top right here. So I'm going to grab my fib, I'm going to draw that and do this entire thing and say, hey, if we want to look for a short, where could we look for a short? Well, look at how this entire price action, the low was right here, which is our 75. If we kind of could rally up and maybe have a divergence, I'd love to see a mini pullback or a run up to the 6650 level. Okay, I love that for a potential short. right? So if price could run up here and get short right here, and it's I want to see it kind of over break. Now, should I do 66 and a quarter? Probably. Let's do it, right? So I front run that line, look for 2 points. I'll give it 2 points of a risk. But guess what? I have a trade plan, right? So here, let's now draw this fib, okay? Looking for a pullback because see how this candle's white right here? But look at that. It was a one candle pullback because we had essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 candles with higher lows pulled back. Now, is there a potential divergence going on right here? Just something to be aware of, right? Does it mean I take it? Well, guess what? If you want, you could try. You know your stops right here. If you're willing to take a paper cut, I'm not going to take the trade, but if there's a paper cut, maybe you try it. Right. Let's see how this plays out. Remember, one of the successful things of trading is just sitting there and watching, right? Watch price action. This is what your 10,000 hours is. Now, where would I be a buyer? Probably right here at the 62 in the quarter level, right? We have our VWAPs here. We have the 38% fib pullback, and that would be a healthy pullback, I believe, because it also matches up with this, right? We have multiple things. Remember, this 38% fib is from here, right? And then we have this smaller 38 that matches up perfect. So we have confluence. Um, we order a course. Please, can you show how these levels appear on toss? What iJazz or LJazz? What do you mean we order a course? Please, can you show how these levels appear on toss? Which levels? So here I'm watching for the break higher. It feels right. Nice little bull flag. Like I said, I want to see a pop. And want to know something? I got to move that to 68, not 66. Sorry about that, guys. My eyes are going. So 68. And here's the best part. That 66 and a quarter probably would have worked. So if I got filled. And Milwaukee guy, in your experience, what is the success rate of those arrows on the chart? Do you usually take trade? Listen, it's something that I just threw up there a couple weeks ago. I've been watching it. Like I said, it's part of the MACD. I watched, talked about it a couple of days or last night in my other live stream. I watched a video, kind of been watching the MACD, kind of understanding it, doing a little more research on it. They actually work pretty good. What I like is when you think we're about to break out or break down and there's those arrows, they work pretty good. But here's the problem: where do you take profits, right? Um, that's always the hardest thing. Do you look for these big runners or do you trail? And that's where I'm having a problem with it is where are we supposed to take our profits? Do we stay in? Do we wait? Things like that. Because if price comes all the way back down, it might come back down to our entry, and then something might happen, right? Maybe you say, hey, if if I enter here, because remember it's a candle delay, right? So it'll show here, but you gotta wait for this candle to open for it to be locked in. One way of doing it is saying, hey, I'm willing to risk this, and this is, I will duplicate this, and that is my target, something like that. That's one way of doing it. Um, so hopefully, like I said, I would watch it, see how it works. So hopefully that helps. So look at the divergence, right? Now, look at this. This is something I want to show you guys, really, really important, is look at how far we've only gone sideways, but look at the pullback, right? In the stochastic, we're almost kind of back at 50 percent, right? The 50 line. This might be the pullback. I would be getting bullish here, to be honest with you. And I might actually take a trade. If we get, yeah, I think I missed it. But this is making me bullish because we've already had the pullback, but look at what price has done. It's gone sideways. Um, hey, Milwaukee guy, yeah, or you could trail each candle and wait for it, and then once it stops you out, that works too. Sometimes I've seen a run up, right? Like we're looking here where it's perfect, but there are other times where it runs up and then you get stopped out, but you enter here and you get stopped out here, but then it goes, right? Like I said, I think it's something I would watch if I were you, and see and try and build it. I'm still trying to figure out, do I take it and just look for my 2 points and move on, things like that? Oh no. It's definitely a tough one. So here we come up to that 68. And remember, I like this level because we are leaning against this double top up here, right? And then this is where we kind of went sideways and collapsed from. So we're coming right back to these levels. Let's get rid of this. Now look at this divergence, right? Now we have this potential divergence going on here, making new highs. So now what you want to do is look for this price to break lower. And then maybe this is what I personally like, right? If the next candle breaks lower, like this, okay, I would I would not enter there. I would probably wait for a pullback. Like first I want confirmation, right? But instead of entering there, I'd look for that pullback. So I just got filled on this, right? And we'll see what happens. So I got filled for the short, and now I want to see this come all the way back down. Um, and then break lower with our divergences, but uh, look strong, right? This is where we sit there and we go, hey, do we kill the trade, break even right here? Maybe look for a point, or do we let the trade play itself out? It's a tough one, but let's just see what happens. So we have a new candle. I'd love to see it pull back, right? And we'll leave it. So 66 and a quarter should take us right here back to this line. But what's the problem with this line, right? Is it's got to break below here. But look at this, right? We're using our indicators to help us to stay in the trade potentially. The only thing we need is price, this reverse waterfall to break for us to really get momentum to the downside. And I'll tell you right now, I'm going to move my stop right here to 60. I'm going to 69. Look at how I'm managing my risk, right? But like, okay, cool. We've had this reaction. See here, we need that. Push it lower, right? So we're now bearish on the market. Divergence. This is pulling back. One more tick, we should get filled. But I'm managing risk by now putting my stop above this high, right? We shouldn't be there. And look at that. 2 point target, right? Very not that much stress. We took literally one tick of a heat, okay, on that trade. But look at how I entered here, right? Perfect, 75%. Okay. And then as we're falling, I'm up a point. I'm like, hey, I'm not going to risk 2 points still. I'm moving my stop because guess what? If we reverse and take out that high, we probably would have kept going higher. So now instead of risking 2 points, I literally had about 2 or 3 ticks worth of a risk on that trade. So hopefully that helps. Real quick, I want to welcome everybody. Do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys turn on notifications so for when I do go live. Also, if you guys are interested, I have a website, daytrainfearless.com. I have a video course with trade zones. $100, and then I also do live one-on-one coaching if you guys are looking for coaching. So where else are we? So look at this, right? Here's our pullback. So let's clean up the chart. And again, trust your indicators. Our indicators told us where to get short, right? The charts kind of, we got to believe in them. Now, here's a hidden divergence, right? Look at this, right? So if you want, you could potentially look for a long because we're now bullish, right? So I'm not going to take a trade, but let's see what happens, right? Because you could say, hey, here's hidden divergence. We may a higher low, right? A low, higher low, but here we may a lower low. How do you decide when to use white candle versus indicator? Remember, all the white candle is think of it this way, right? The candles were doing this. Okay. Green, green, red, green. I don't care what color, right? We are making higher lows. No low broke below the previous candle, right? Well, guess what? When we break below a previous candle's low, this candle turns white. That's all that is. And it's just a visual letting you know that we are going from a bullish market to now a bearish market until the next candle, like here, broke up, right? And then it kind of broke down. It's getting choppy right now. But that's all the white candle is. Hope that helps, Jazz. Nice job, Crystal. So here, um, let's zoom out. So look at the bigger picture, right? Look at this, right? Boom. Here, all this price action, all these people are trapped. Price pulls back, right back to it. You have a lot of support here. And then we're probably going to rally for a little bit because we're making higher highs and higher lows. Now, I would say if we start to break below here, if you want, grab a fib and let's look at fib retracements, right? And look for where levels meet, kind of match up. Maybe this 50% level, we might see buyers. I'm not in love with it. And the reason I say that is because if we do come down here, now we're below the 200, we're below the VWAP lines. Remember, these are VWAP levels, anchored VWAPs. So I'm not in love with it. Sometimes we gotta wait for trades to set up. Also, if you guys want, ask me any questions, type them in the chat. I'll try and answer them the best I can. Like I said, I just want to get back to you guys, help you guys become better traders. People have helped me along my journey, and it's my way of giving back. So, so look at this, right? And think about this, right? This divergence that I pointed out to you guys, look at this move that we're now having, right? Massive move. Now, if you want, again, I took that trade based off the fib level, right? Remember, I drew that fib level off this double top right here, right? And it was at the 75% level. I love the 75 on it. Well, if we did have that and this is all we saw, okay, cool. Let's see a divergence. I will just trade based off of this, the break, right? Reverse waterfall, make new highs, make a high, right? Pull back, make new highs, divergence. And then when price breaks, usually what I look for is the kickback. And if you guys remember last night, I was telling you guys, watch your bodies in your wicks. Body, right? All the people in the wicks are trapped. Where's price go? Directly to the bodies and fail. Now, I would have taken this trade, okay, with an entry probably somewhere right around here, and my stop would be one tick above here. The charts give you where to put your stops. So, hey Jay, glad you found this. Make sure you subscribe, turn on bell notifications for when I go live. I'll be going live all different times, so there's no set schedule. I hate to do that to you all, but um, it's a it's one of those things where nighttime I see a lot of people don't do night trading, and I actually think night trading is very easy. So, thanks, Jay. Um, so look at the pullback, right? Right down to our 38. This is why, and you guys will hear me tell you this over and over and over. And I don't do it because I want to hear myself talk. I do it to drill it in your head, right? It's like practice. It's like Tom Brady, one of the best quarterbacks out there, but he still throws the ball every single day. He still practices, right? I want you guys to believe in your indicators. I want you guys to believe in Fibonacci's, right? Look at this. I mean, you can't make this up. People say it's all random. I call BS on it, right? It's not random. Things happen for a reason. We pull right back to the 38. If we fall, we'll pull back. Now, do we blow through levels here and there? Yeah, of course. But we stop too perfect too many times at specific levels, right? If you think about it, I drew this from this double top right here to these lows. Well, look at what we did, right? Went right to the 61.8, pulled back, went right to the 75, pulled back. Then on the pullback, where did we pull back? 50, and we bounced, right? Things are too perfect. So, um, hey Jay, what do you mean nighttime? What's the time for trading at night? For me or in general? Um, Oh, for me, in general, is usually after 5 p.m. I live here in Las Vegas, so 5 p.m. my Pacific time, because that's when the Japanese markets usually tend to open, somewhere around there. Um, and that's where volume kind of picks up. And like I said, I'll do it for an hour or two. I'm not going to be up all night because I trade all day. So, Arkansas. Well, I'm Pacific, so it's 6 p.m. here. So I think your Central Time, which would be 7, or 8 now, so that'd be around 7 p.m. Your time, I believe. Like it's um current market changed anything for you? Like it's crazy up and down now. To not crazy up and down, I think it's trading very technical, believe it or not. I actually like this level right here, the 58.75. I'm going to throw an order in there. And again, guys, if I put an order in, I will give you guys plenty of time. I know we're on like a 5 second delay. So I will try not to ever throw orders in. Um, right at the moment without, because I know some people like trade, but again, I don't recommend you guys follow my trades, just legal. I'm just some dude on YouTube, but if you do, I will try and put orders in. This is more educational value. I just gotta say it to protect myself. I used to work for online brokerage, so I know all the rules, even though I'm no longer licensed. Um, I held my Series 3. I just know compliance very well. So look at this, right? Come right down to the 61.8, right? And we're seeing a little bit of a bounce. Now, all I look for are quick little reactions. That's it. This tells me, okay, the market's trading very technical. Bounce here, bounce here. Do you give an alert when you're live? No. So I don't give alerts when I go live, Jay, but if you hit the bell notification, it should alert you that I'm going live. So maybe I'll try and figure out how to turn on or to set a reminder for a specific time if I know an exact time. So, hey, Piper. Oh, cool. Yeah, we've done, hey, Piper, we've done one trade. We're 1 for 1. 2 points took this on a pullback of the 75% fib. Took like a tick or two of a heat. I think like one tick. Um, but hey, Piper, I did get your email. I'm going to just respond back to you. Just curious on a fast stoke to RSI. I like the fast stochastic better than the RSI. But with my stochastic, I like this setting, which is the 9-3, but I'm only showing the FAST, which is the 3 with a 1 minute chart. I like that better than the RSI. So, and let me do this. Let me throw this guy up because Piper, I want to take a look at these, see how well. Like I was looking at these, some show up good, some don't. From what I'm seeing, like here it didn't show this, and this is where it's an art form. I don't think there'll ever be a what you call it a perfect indicator to do all this, right? For us to give us reversals, like to draw them out perfectly for us. I think that's where the art form comes in and really gives us our edge. Because look at this right here, right? We have a double bottom here. Give me a second, guys. Somebody just tried to spam, so. Um, so like right here we have a double bottom, right? Kind of should double bottom here, but on the RSI it showed up, but it never signaled. See that, Piper? So that's where it becomes an art form. We have to watch. So right now, let's do this. Let's clean all this up. Grab our fib extension and watch this, right? Because we have a high, low, lower, high, lower, low. Watch this. Let's see if price comes right here. I'm going to try the 64 for a short. And I'm only going to look for like a point. And guess what? I'm going to miss it probably. So here's the thing, right? I like to hear, but now because we've already pulled back, I no longer like that trade. So I'm going to cancel it because if we come all the way back up, do you really want to take that trade? I don't. You already had the move, right? You already had the reaction at that level. We just missed it by a tick or two. But look at that, right? Right here, come right back to the 38. So now here you guys go. Grab your Fibonacci extension tool. We see the kind of the rollover. Let's go from this high to this low. If you want to trade this and you think we're going lower, right? Here's a good trade, potential trade, right? Enter here. You know we're in a downtrend. You can enter here. These could be your targets, and your stop loss goes right above here. So just something to think about, right? And look at that. So now this kind of failed, right? So we're now back to a bullish market. Right, and remember, the bigger trend was a low, a high, a higher low. This will probably make it a higher high. So here, if you want, we can now start to draw from here, right? Potential pullback, right? Maybe look at the 38 to get long. So let's cancel that. And maybe 50% level, right? 64 and a quarter. I'm going to try that. I'll try to put order in and see if we could get a pullback right here to the 50 and then a bounce back up. If you don't believe in fibs, look at the 4-hour chart from the local low. Oh yeah, listen, I'm the biggest believer in fibs. I mean, I agree with you, Piper. Fibs are everything. I think all the algos are run off fibs, and that's why the market trades so technical. I mean, here, look at this, just from these highs, right? Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, Dr. Lecter, how do you link the S5 dome to toss? I don't. It's its own window, so I can move it like this. So it's a whole different software. There's no linking. I just use these charts. Um, I'm just doing using these charts, and then I place off the dome because remember S&P futures trade so clean. It's a perfect marketplace. That it's all the same no matter what brokerage. So hopefully that helps. Milwaukee guy, the white box on the top shows high mid previous candle. Correct. So right here, these right here show this yellow line of this previous candle, the high, the low, and the 50%. And that's also right here. So you could see it kind of stands out. It's in black. It's hard to see, but it's there. I love. Oh, I gotcha, Piper. I just saw your comment. Yeah, you can't make it up, man. It's amazing how perfect they are. Now this. So let me ask you guys: do you think this is a swing low right here that I would draw a fib, or would I use this? Right? I could either draw from here to here, or I could draw from here to here, right? If you guys think this is it, put number one. If you think this is it, put number two in the chat. And I'll kind of let you know what my thoughts are on it. Dr. Lecter, I use a stage five for lower fees. That's why I use that dome, right? Their dome, because I just use them to execute trades. So here's where I would use this low to draw my fib versus this low right here. And the reason I say that is because if you look, we have a reverse waterfall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This entire leg is one leg, right? Even though you could probably lean against this, I personally wouldn't. I would rather stay cautious and lean against this leg right here to get long. I'm going to try the 64. Yeah, I'm going to leave the 64 and a quarter. I wanted to kind of overshoot the 61.8 and then bounce. So I'm going to leave this order in here. But I would lean against here versus here because we're still in the reverse waterfall. I really like to use the waterfalls as my reversals. So and look at that bounce right off the 50%. The lower one for me, also, if you look at the impulse move, yeah, I agree, right? It's the breakout, right? Kind of this breakout move. Um, jazz. I would. I personally. Here's what the white candle is, right? And this is what. Hopefully, this really makes sense for you. Is the minute we break below, the market becomes bearish, right? We're bullish until we break one tick below. The minute we break a tick below, then the market becomes bearish, right? But not until then. So when you see that, think of that as a confirmation. That is your confirmation of, hey, this market is bearish. Real quick, I just got filled. Okay, right here again. Now let's see if this 200 we can hold the 200. It's the very first retest on this, right? And let's see if we could get a bounce back up to the 38 and kind of ping pong in between here. I'm just using a discretionary 2 point stop. I'm either going to be right or right out of the trade. If I could use below this swing low, but chances are if we give this up, we're going to be well below here. Now, there are things I don't like. Look at the bounce, right? I'm going to take profits for 1 point. I don't like it. I don't like the stochastic. pointing lower. I don't like how we just went from green to red, right? Showing a little bit of a bearishness. And want to know something? I'm going to kill this trade. I'm going to try and get 2 ticks and give me 1 tick. I'm out. I'm out of the trade. I don't like it. It may work. Here's the difference, right? I'm not going to sit here and hope and pray. I'm seeing things I don't like. I'm probably going to be wrong. I'm not going to lie. I'll probably look back and go, well, I blew that trade, right? But I'd rather take 1 tick, or if something happens, I got to be flexible and change it. And I'd rather take that 1 tick profit or 2 ticks than a 2 point stop loss, right? Because now I'm 2 for 2. It gives me that boost of confidence, right? The psychology side, but also it's the trade's no longer working. It should have already worked. I'm seeing things I don't like. I don't like how we went from green to red. That's what my little red arrow is, right? I don't like how the stochastics kind of keep going lower. When I saw it now, it'll probably bounce and I'll probably would have hit my target, but I'm okay with it. And this is the difference. Some people will be like, well, just let the trade play out. Why? Well, why take a 2 point stop loss? I can always re enter on the better setup. Um, yeah, Dr. Lecter, again, it's a stage 5. Don't know if I answered that or not. Piper, lower one for me. You also look at the input. Yeah. It's better wait for the white candle when entering. Yeah, like I said, the white candle is your confirmation. Um, Never marry your trade if you see issues forming on it. Bail on it. I totally agree. And look at this, right? If I would have stuck to my guns and let the trade, listen, half the time I'll be right, the other half I'll be wrong. But if I could get out with a break even or a 1 or 2, whatever, I'd rather do it and wait for another trade setup. So, like I said, it's what I do. It's the way I trade. We're all different. Some people say it's wrong. I should just let the trade play out. Guess what? That's what makes a market, right? Okay. Yeah. Dr. Lecter, it's stage 5 is the broker. So if you Google stage 5 futures trading, that's the broker I use for lower commissions. Usually I don't trade for the first at least half hour, because I like slow methodical markets like what we're seeing, right? I like I like this. Usually the first half hour is a news event, right? Housing, whatever that you could get stuck in a trade, things like that could happen. For me, it's one of those things where, hey, like sometimes I'll make a trade here and there, but usually, usually I don't like the first half hour. But after that, I want the markets to settle down. I know some people talk about how the first hour is the professionals. I'll tell you right now, I think the first hour are the amateurs because all the books are trying to be, it's kind of like flip a coin which direction we're going to go, right? Like nothing's technical because all the stock books have to figure out everything, kind of reorder. So real quick, this trade actually would have worked if I stayed in it. I would have taken about a point of risk and my target would have been hit. But guess what? I'm okay with it. Move on. Um, so Okay. Well, hey guys, if you guys have any more questions, throw them in. I actually need to get going. Now that, like I said, I just want to jump on for an hour. We did two trades, made 5 ticks. Now, again, when you're trading the micros, it's not a ton of money, 11.25. But guess what? If we were trading the big contract, maybe next time I'll trade the big contract, it would have been $62, right? Whatever. So it's all relative. Gotcha, Jay. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna this will be posted up on YouTube, so you can watch it tomorrow whenever. Nice nice job, Crystal. Congrats. Good to hear. And like I said, I'll probably watch for my weekend watch list video Saturday morning. I release every week on YouTube, and then I'll be back at this next week. But you guys have a good day. Yeah, I won't be live tomorrow, but as always, I appreciate all you guys showing up tonight, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Thanks, guys.